is that the best way to honor the fallen aides, as we would describe them, is for government to go all out and end this practice of illegal mining or galamsey or environmental crime, as Doc has said. And the Forestry Commission has a role to play in all this.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. On that fateful day, I recall the atmosphere there. And I recall as well, on my way to the venue, I had a call asking if I was okay because there was an accident. And so I thought it was a car crash. Then my answer was that, no, if there was a car crash, then it was behind me because the road ahead of me was still clear.
Okay.
Only for me to reach the venue. And I'm also the deputy national organizer. For one of our regional organizers to approach me, and he was shivering. I was shocked. And this is one gentleman, I can't mention his name, who is very tough. And he came to hold me and he was just shivering. Have you heard? And what is it? He said, oh. Then he mentioned the names that had perished. So I just, you know, when news like that hits you, you are in some state of self-denial. You immediately begin to imagine the people, their faces and all that. And it is one reason why I find it difficult to look at the corpse of people I know when they pass, because I want to have a memory of your last time alive. And eventually, it was true. And so then you ask yourself, why did they die? What happened? Was it avoidable? But what was the cause? Even though we may all want to look at whether it was a technical issue, the helicopter or what have you, they were on a certain mission of state. And that mission was because the environmental criminals were involved in an act that was an affront to our healthy living. And it therefore gives you that sense of urgency to now know that even if we thought we were fighting it and we were even commended for the effort we had put in the past, we now need to do more, because we are losing too many fine brains to the dastard act by certain callous people who are in an enterprise to just milk the state to make money for themselves. And so, yes, government may have done a lot more in the past, especially in these few months, in terms of its fight, when there's that political will and the enforcement. And you see, this concern, however, can only be approached with, it's multifaceted. For instance, you in the media play a very critical role. The media are part of the watchers. You are part of the security men. You are also watching, trying to, and so some of your guys, Erastus Society, don't call, etc. Our traditional authorities also play a major role, because there's no mining done in vacuum. And you know how our land tenure system is. And so if we get a serious buy-in by our traditional authorities, it means that they can also stand their grounds to exert some authority on saying no to this or that. Outside of this jurisdiction, we're having a conversation outside about how somewhere in, is it Lolobi or Santrogofi, they had put some posters there warning people that don't come and do mining here if it won't be responsible.
But not every community will do that.
Not every community will do that. But you see, when you get it wrong from the very get-go, that is where you continue to get it wrong. And therefore, it means that it will require a lot of effort now to be able to draw back or to get back all of this.
Is it not too late?
It can never be too late. For instance, I have been saying that, you see, you need to blend both short and long-term approaches to this. Give you an example. The purpose of education is to solve societal problems or reform. So our education even is standardized rather than being customized, right? And these are long-term approaches maybe. So the problems that are in Western region are different from the problems in Eastern region or Volta region. But our education says everybody at basic level must learn this, must all learn this, and must all learn that. How about even if we are having clubs? Should we not now be saying that, okay, when we have a Red Cross in the Volta region, we should have forest clubs in Western region, because that will play a major impact on the kind of poems and recitals they will learn. These are long-term. But the political will that the president has demonstrated, that he frowns on this. He is not against responsible mining, but he's against irresponsible mining. He's not against mining, but he's against irresponsible mining. Then there's that enforcement and the will of the institutions. And it is why it is a great loss to Ghana. Again, the late, sad to say today, that the late Dr. Omani Boama was one of those that the sector minister, Honorable Emmanuel Makofi-Boa, could rely on, that he was ready to help and join fight this battle. Because the scourge, Dr. Omani, being a medical doctor, also understood well the cycle of how it continues and eventually becomes a burden on our health budget, from the health implications on the people, how our water bodies are compromised, how we need to find a way to restore that water back, the soil quality, food, crops, etc. And this is somebody who, unfortunately, we've just lost. You can take them one by one, but the main concern now is for us to see how best. I am also aware that there's been information going around that we maybe have to, the president would soon come up with very tougher decisions to be rolled out on what to do. I would not be surprised if it includes even a repeal of the LI 2462. Because drastic measures required.
The dog and his group have made that call several times, among others.
Exactly. And so it's a clarion call on all of us. But you see, it doesn't take you and myself or him just sitting here to make clarion call. These people who are engaged in this enterprise, excuse me to say, are largely heartless. And they just do not care about what words you come and put out here. But there must be some disincentive measures taken that will be very punitive enough. And at Forestry Commission, we are not a fully weaponized or clothed institution in order to battle this. That is one other side many people forget. So always the entire blame often is laid at our doorstep to make, but it's because some do not know that forestry, when you go to our neighboring countries, for instance, their forestry commissions are usually a detachment of the military.
Okay.
But in Ghana, that is not the case. We are civilians who are being asked to, in a way they call it kpakpatu, you are given a kpakpatu or a hunting gun to go and fight people who are wielding sophisticated weapons. So there's the need for a stronger and tougher collaboration between the necessary stakeholders, the Minerals Commission, Forestry Commission, or the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, National Security, the Ministry of the Interior, and the military as well. And that is why I was saying that our traditional authorities play a major role. We cannot do all of this and downplay their relevance. The media play a very critical role as well too, because you are the watchers who will be constantly be reporting on this, naming and shaming, amongst other things. So it is very multifaceted. But I must say that there is that commitment and willingness to do so. We only need to intensify.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Doc, I'll come back to you again, but then let me go on Zoom and speak to Alhaji Inusa Hussaini, former Member of Parliament and former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, to also get his take on this